Hello, this is Chris from Optinet, and in this video, the latest in our Dig Deep series, we're going to look at Docmail end-to-end through Flex. That means we'll have a look at how you can set up an account or migrate your existing Docmail account into Flex, all of the details which you need to put into Flex itself, and then the options that it affords you throughout the patient journey, for example, patient recall and all of the other letter and postcard creation which Docmail can offer you. So to start off, you'll need to create an account by visiting our utilities website, optinetuk.net. You can see the address in the browser up here. Once you're there, you can click on Docmail and it will ask you to generate an account. I'm logged in already, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But to generate an account, of course, it's the normal thing. So when you sign up for something online, you'll need your email address and then a password you create. It will send you an activation code, which you can put into the website with all of your practice details. And then it will bring you to the home screen of Docmail, and it shows here logged in as myself at the moment. If you're an existing Docmail user, this screen may well be familiar already, be it through any automation your previous systems have used into Docmail, or even if you've just been using it standalone in the past. Everything on the website is pretty intuitive. If you do need any help with that, you'll be able to find all of the Docmail contact details on there. All that we can help with, generally speaking, is the link that it offers through Flex. So once you're logged in, this is the page that you see. And if you are an existing user, you can request that your account is migrated over to Optinet. You can do that by contacting Docmail or ourselves with your account username and just asking to be put under the Optinet portal. And then your account will be part of ours, which means a direct link to Flex and a few other nice features like envelope personalization and special offers, which you do get through us. So looking here at the Docmail website, a couple of bits and pieces which we're going to have a look at. Just to show you that when you sign up through Optinet, then you'll actually get £10 credit included. You'll always be able to check your balance through Flex, but also you can top up your account online using a credit or debit card, etc. So that's quite useful. But what we'll do firstly is look at how it works in Flex. If you click into menu and setup, in the branch options here, you can add in your Docmail account. So you can put in your username, which is your email address, and the password, which you use already, or is the one which you've set as part of the setup process. You will just need to tick use Docmail features. That's going to ask for an Optinet PIN code. So if you just drop us a ticket through the portal, flexhelp.co.uk, we'll be able to log in and do that for you. One of the reasons we do this is just so we can have a cursory check to make sure all the setup is done correctly and obviously to start the conversation about any assistance which you may require. What you then be able to do when you press check account is it will show you your account balance. So we can see here the £10 which I've already added on. Now, most commonly in my experience, what people do with Docmail through Flex is they upload their own letterhead into Docmail automatically. So essentially, when you send text from Flex, it's a bit like a GOS form really, it superimposes that text onto the existing piece of paper, as it were. So we'll look on the Docmail website how you can do this. Again, just a quick cursory glance really. The Docmail support team will be able to help you with anything through the Docmail website, of course. But under library, we've got something called backgrounds. So this is generally letterheads, that's the word that I use for it. And in here, you can upload a background. So I'm going to choose A4, that's pretty much what all recall is on A4. And at the moment, we can see there's none here. So I add a background. You can select your letterhead. It seems any file type seems to work. So I've just created one here. It's called CG. And I'm going to upload that now. There we go. So the background is on here. Not a lot. All I've done is I've just put on little things saying CG test, and we'll see how that gets superimposed when we actually send a letter through. So we can create Docmails through here, and as I mentioned before, anything you want to use through Docmail independently, of course you can do that and continue to use their website, which does seem nice and user-friendly. So we've put our account details into Flex. Let's see how we'd link this on to your recalls. So firstly, we'll look at the actual letter templates themselves. So just looking at a REM1, this is just the default one here that Flex ships with. But looking at how we use it through Docmail, all of the merge fields will still get, merged, and all of the content sent. But to link a background, if I press backgrounds in the top right-hand corner, it links to the Docmail website, and it sees that one that we uploaded called CG. So if I link that here, I just choose the recall letter I want it to go onto. So if you do have several recall letters, you would have to link it onto each one. The reason for that, of course, you might have different backgrounds for each one. But if we close that now, we'll see that the background CG has been linked. Just looking at what all of these tick boxes mean here. If you want the letter to send in colour, obviously if that one's ticked as colour, it will go through. Like that costs a few pence more. The Docmail website is the best place to go for the up-to-date pricing. And duplex, if it's going across more than one page, do you want to print obviously on the back of the existing page. First class delivery, again, clues in the name of that one. And just like colour, it does cost a few pence more to be first class delivery. But we can select any of those. Shortlist ST and CL, a little bit different there. Those are when you save a site exam or indeed a contact lens exam, it can flash up asking which forms or letters you want to print. So don't worry about those being part of Docmail. So for actually doing your letters, it's just linking the background on, and then your recall schedules are unaffected by this, whether you are doing printing letters, exporting through Docmail, through web post, nothing else you need to know. It's simply a case of linking the background. It's of course prudent, just like you would when you're printing out to paper, to make sure that your letter all lines up, that you're happy with how it looks. So we'll look at sending one through to Docmail in just a moment's time. You're also able to set up postcards through Docmail. So if I click on Postcards, I'm going to click download, and it can download a list of all the different images. You can of course use your own local images too, but we've got a library of around 20 or so, and we can see lots of different postcards that we could use here on the system. Again, these can be used for ad hoc messaging, through data mining for marketing, or if you were to use it, again, through participation recall, then that's something you could do if you wanted to. But you can see here a few of the different ones, more around marketing, but of course some recall-based ones here as well. If you're sending postcards for marketing, of course, the GDPR compliance is your own, but it's useful to see all of the different ones which we have here. What we can do also, so if I said I'm going to use this one under Final Postcard Templates, I can choose which one I want to use. So we'll use your do a contact lens check. And any text can appear here. So on the back of the postcard, on one half we've got the address, etc. That'll all merge in automatically. And any text we write in here, you've got basic editing functions here. You can amend those, and you can also tick if you want this delivered first class, just like we saw with the letters. Of course, postcards will be colour by default. So I've now saved that template onto the system. So regarding making these parts of your patient recall, I said letters are exactly the same as what you do with a printed letter. You can just choose your template and it will just send via Docmail. But if you were to choose Postcard, that is only for Docmail users. You can choose the name of the postcard and when to send it. So it'll use the same. Obviously, if people are happy to get a letter by proxy, they're happy to get a postcard, and that's where you'd link those in. So just to recap where we've got to so far, we've had a look at how we would set up a Docmail account. You can do that through our website, optinetuk.net, or we can help you migrate your existing account to Docmail. We've looked at putting that into the branch setup. We've then looked at how we can link your backgrounds. So that's the letterheads which you put onto Docmail. You can do those through letter templates by pressing Backgrounds Docmail, and it'll link into ones which you've got. And also how you're able to create and send postcards through there. So looking at actually creating the run or doing it through Flex, if we just find a patient record, to be able to send a letter, this is just an ad hoc letter away from the recalls, but it's quite nice to show you the process of how it goes through, is if we choose letter or postcard via speed mail. So speed mail is an all-encompassing word we use for Docmail, web post, etc. If I choose letter via speed mail, I'm going to choose that REM1. And I've just realised I've not put a patient address on. That was a swing and a miss, wasn't it? Let me go back and put that detail on. If you use, by the way, our postcode lookup facility, which you can find out more about on our portal, not only does that save you the time of entering the address, but it means that you've got a validated one through the Royal Mail PAF postcode address file as well. Okay. So, print letter from speed writing, and I'm just going to choose that REM1 letter now. Oh, sorry, speed mail I should have chosen. So REM1 was one with the background link to it. I'm going to send that off to the patient address. We could enter a different address there if we wanted to. And there we go. It's telling us that the price has gone through, and that's all good. Do you want to send this letter? I'll say yes. So sending it to the patient, and just behind there it tells us the letter's been sent successfully. So when you do actually send something to a patient, obviously it'll go into the correspondence log as normal. That's how we could do it through the patient record, or indeed we could use Postcard as well. Just click on Postcard, choose the one we want, and we could send that too. Again, I think you'll generally use Docmail more automated through patient recall, which I'll demonstrate in a moment, but that's actually how we could send it through the system. Back onto Docmail, and we can see now that that mailing has landed on their website. So just to show you here, we've got all of the details, the documents all come through, and you'll be able to get a proof of it. So again, I just quickly put my address in. It's not quite accurate, that one. Should have been under Optinet UK or Optinet Limited on the address. But you can see here the details of what's gone through, and you're able to look at a proof to see how it's all looking as well. Again, putting in dummy details is why it's just not quite happy with the addresses on there, but you're able to choose all the details and it will go straight through. Regarding how it be used as part of patient recall, on recall, of course, you can see everything due to be sent up to and including today's date on your home screen in Flex. Again, this is just a clean copy of Flex, so I've got nothing to send at the moment. But just to show you, when we go to send recall, by using Docmail, the letter format's gone onto Docmail automatically. We occasionally get queries through the portal about, does this affect emails and text messages? No, this is purely the letter format. So anything that is going out on a sheet of paper, is it being printed by yourselves in practice? Is it being exported, for example, for a spreadsheet? We have a handful of practices who print to address labels, web post, and then of course Docmail. So all you need to do is make sure it's on Docmail there. And then when you press the send timeline button, all of the letters will go straight through to Docmail. Indeed, you can see your balance here. It will show you the cost of the mailing you're doing. The path, that's the postcode address file. So if there's any postcodes that are invalid, they do generally add a few pence for that. So again, it's just something which you may wish to accept or make sure the addresses are the best they can be. And things like the postcode lookup charge are useful for that. So we can see here the balance, and it'll let you know if it's going to cost more than what your balance is. Do make sure that you top it up in advance. It doesn't let you go into arrears in my experience, so make sure you've got the balance on there in the first instance. Then when you press send, it would send all of the letters, all of the postcards will all go through to Docmail. Okay, so just to have a reflect on what we've done there, to create an account, we can visit optinetuk.net, where you can click onto Docmail, or it'll either take you straight through to your account if you're already a user, or you'll be able to set one up. In here, you'll be able to add a background. So generally speaking, that's a letterhead, which the text from Flex is going to be superimposed on top of. You'll also be able to see all of your mailings, which are going through the system under the My Mailings tab. And like I said, Docmail will be able to help with any other queries which you have around how their website works. Back into Flex, under Menu and Setup, we've added in the account details under the branch table. It will require Optinet intervention there, so drop us a line about that, and we can just enter our PIN code to set up the account, and you'll see you'll get £10 free credit if you're coming directly through us. Linking a background onto the letter templates, we can do that by pressing backgrounds, brackets Docmail, and linking that to all of the letters which you want to send. Of course, you can use different backgrounds for different letters if you want to. If you've got an LVA letter where the text is all very large, your letterhead might reflect that, for example. You can also sort if you want to send those in colour. If it goes over 2 pages, do you want it to be duplex? So just use 2 sides of one sheet. And if you want it to be first class delivery, again, these ones here, the colour and the first class delivery will cost a few pence more per letter, but the Docmail website or the Docmail support team can advise you of all the very latest charges. Of course, when Royal Mail put the stamp prices up, whilst Docmail is cheaper than that, of course, it will catch up by a few pence each time. We've also looked there at postcard templates, so you can use some of our library of them which are available here, or you can add your own local image to create a postcard if you want to, and put all the text on. Of course, the address, etc., all goes on automatically. So we've looked at using those as part of patient recall or sending them ad hoc through the patient record. I would recommend having a go at sending one to yourself and looking like we did together on the Docmail portal, see how that's looking. But then again, you've got £10 free, so use 70 pence or so to send one to yourself, or send a couple maybe, just so you can see the look and feel of it. So for example, the envelope personalisation offered through Optinet, generally speaking, putting your practice address on, but that's quite useful. Shows your patience is not a bill, don't worry. But also so you can get the look and feel of the weight of the paper that they use, inevitably the markings that automated providers have to put on, the ones down the left-hand side. So have a look, send a couple through to yourselves, and that £10 credit, then you could certainly use that to maybe be getting in touch with your top 10 spenders, for example. Again, GDPR compliance allowing. But that's just to give you a little bit of an overview of what Docmail can do through Flex for you. As always, if you want to continue the conversation, please do. Click on the blue question mark in the top right-hand corner of Flex, and that'll open up our portal. And we can see here, as we put in words on the system, Docmail, there's lots of different things here about using Docmail backgrounds, how to actually print letters through it. So lots on there through Docmail, but you can, of course, raise a ticket or drop us an email at any time through here. If you are stuck, there's also an 0800 number in office hours which you can use, but 24/7, there's lots of support available through the portal for that. Make sure you do check out our YouTube channel. You've obviously found us already by watching this Dig Deep video, which is brill. But on here, there's lots of other videos in the FLEXpertise series, and there's an absolute wealth of content. There's hours and hours on here now. Thank you, by the way, for the feedback that you've been sending about it. So do make sure you just check it out. On any device, you can just Google Optinet YouTube, and you'll find all of that content. As always, thanks very much for being a Flex customer. If you've got a video that you'd like to see put together to help you or your business to really maximise a certain section of Flex, please do let me know through the portal, flexhelp.co.uk, and make sure you keep on reading our weekly Take 5 newsletter, which features more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.